Have you ever been told that video games are a waste of time? That they rot your brain, destroy your attention span, or make you lazy? For decades, that's what many people believed. But what if we've been wrong all along? What if the same games people criticize are actually shaping some of the smartest, most creative minds of our generation? From the open world of Minecraft, to the decision-heavy strategy of Civilization, to the teamwork in Fortnite or Overwatch, video games aren't just entertainment. They're lessons in problem-solving, adaptability, and human growth, disguised as play.
So today, let's step inside a world you thought you already knew and uncover how video games are secretly teaching us more about life than school ever could.
Let's start with Minecraft, a game that on the surface looks like just blocks and pixels. But beneath that simplicity lies something powerful, pure creativity and problem solving. Minecraft teaches millions of players, kids and adults alike, how to think critically, plan ahead, and adapt to new situations. Every structure you build requires resource management, spatial awareness, and innovation. You're not just playing, you're engineering, designing, and experimenting with limitless possibilities.
And that's not something limited to Minecraft.
Games like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or Subnautica push players into open worlds where curiosity is rewarded. You're dropped into the unknown, forced to learn through trial and error, guided not by a teacher, but by your own instincts. In those moments, when you're lost, exploring, discovering, surviving, you're doing something schools rarely teach. You're learning how to learn, because every puzzle solved, every enemy defeated, every base built is a lesson in persistence, strategic thinking, and self-improvement. That's the quiet genius of video games. They turn failure into a feedback loop.
Instead of punishing you, failure becomes fuel.
When you're playing a game like StarCraft, Civilization, or even Minecraft, something remarkable happens behind the scenes. You're building neural pathways, strengthening how your brain plans, reacts, and adapts. These aren't just games, they're mental gyms disguised as entertainment. Every time you strategize your next move, predict an enemy's decision, or solve a puzzle that seemed impossible 5 minutes ago, you're sharpening your mind in ways schools rarely teach. Think about it. When you lose in chess, you don't fail, you learn. You start anticipating moves, you adapt.
You evolve.
The same thing happens in video games, except the scale is global. Millions of players refining their pattern recognition, timing, coordination, and emotional resilience all at once. In school, when you fail a test, you're punished with a bad grade. In games, failure is part of the process. You die, you retry, and you improve. It's not about memorization, it's about mastery.
And that's the real lesson video games teach better than most classrooms ever could. That failure isn't final. It's fuel.
Video games create safe worlds where failure has meaning. They reward persistence. They teach us that the reward comes after effort, not luck. Games like Elden Ring or Dark Souls might seem cruel, but they're secretly lessons in patience, in grit, in pushing through the chaos. They show us how to manage frustration, how to find clarity when everything feels impossible. Because in those moments when your hands are shaking, your heart racing, you're not just playing a game. You're fighting to become better. And over time, that mindset bleeds into real life. You start seeing obstacles differently, not as things to avoid, but as puzzles to solve. You start realizing that the patience you learned farming resources in Minecraft, the timing you mastered in Fortnite, and the empathy you built in story-driven games like Life is Strange, they're shaping who you are. Video games at their best are mirrors.
They reflect our potential, our limits, and how far we're willing to go to grow.
When we think about growth, we usually imagine classrooms, lectures, or books. But in the world of gaming, growth often happens in silence, through emotions, teamwork, and moments we don't even realize are teaching us. Take story-driven games like The Last of Us, Life is Strange, or Undertale. These aren't just about completing missions. They're emotional experiences. They force us to make choices, confront consequences, and feel what others feel. When you cry over a character's loss, when you hesitate before making a difficult choice, you're exercising empathy, one of the most human forms of intelligence.
These moments shape us.
They remind us that even pixels and dialogue boxes can carry real human weight. And then there are games that connect us to people across the world. Multiplayer worlds like Valorant, Fortnite, or Among Us. Behind every username is a person, someone strategizing, laughing, learning, or maybe even finding a bit of belonging. In those chaotic lobbies or intense matches, something powerful happens. We learn communication, leadership, patience, and emotional control. We learn how to work together, not because we're told to, but because the game demands it. Every GG, every team victory, every lesson learned from defeat, it's all shaping how we handle people and pressure in the real world. Because video games, they don't just build skill, they build character. Games also teach us how to work together in ways most people don't realize. Every team victory, every defeat, every strategic choice builds skills that extend far beyond the screen. From Minecraft's creativity to chess's strategy, from cooperative tabletop games to competitive online arenas, every game contains lessons in problem-solving, collaboration, and leadership. In cooperative and competitive games like Overwatch, League of Legends, Valorant, and even survival games like Rust or Ark, Survival Evolved, players learn to anticipate teammates' actions, adjust strategies on the fly, and communicate clearly under pressure. Every voice chat, every ping, every plan that falls apart becomes an exercise in patience, teamwork, and critical thinking. Even in chaotic or unpredictable matches, Among Us, Fortnite, Apex Legends, or Rocket League, you're constantly observing behavior, reading situations, and making split-second decisions. You learn to trust, to doubt, to strategize, and to support others when the moment demands it. Each unexpected twist is a lesson in adaptability, resilience, and leadership. It's not just about winning, it's about learning to think on your feet, respect others, and make decisions that affect a group. Every victory teaches strategy. Every defeat teaches humility. Every comeback teaches perseverance. Over time, these patterns strengthen your ability to collaborate, communicate, and perform under pressure, skills that translate directly to school, work, and life. Every discussion, every planning session, every team play is a mirror of real-world challenges. Games train us to remain calm under pressure, anticipate outcomes, negotiate solutions, and adapt when things don't go as planned. Games build more than skill. They build resilience, confidence, and the ability to thrive in uncertainty. And the more we engage with these experiences, the more naturally our brains internalize teamwork, strategy, and problem-solving, preparing us for challenges far beyond any digital world. If you've ever picked up a controller, a mouse, or a keyboard, you've stepped into a world built on growth, learning, and transformation. Every challenge you face, every level, every mission, every team match is a lesson waiting to be discovered. Even the failures, the setbacks, the losses you wish never happened are part of the journey, teaching resilience, patience, and determination. Video games mirror life in ways we often overlook. They teach creativity through exploration, empathy through narrative, strategic thinking through complex mechanics, and perseverance through repeated failure and eventual success. Every puzzle solved, every boss defeated, every cooperative victory or tough loss strengthens not just your skill, but your mind, your patience, and your character. Look closer at the moments within the games you play. Notice the lessons hidden in choices, the growth in repeated attempts, and the personal evolution that happens quietly over time. Each challenge hones focus. Each setback builds grit. Each decision, no matter how small, sharpens your ability to think, adapt, and act in ways that echo far beyond the digital world. It's not just a game. It's a story. It's a training ground for life, a mirror of your potential, and a reminder that growth often comes disguised as play. You are the main character in this story, learning, evolving, and growing stronger with every challenge, every triumph, every misstep, and every lesson learned. And as you continue to play, to explore, to fail, and to succeed, you're not just leveling up in a game.
You're leveling up in life.